Hello, everyone, and welcome. I hope everybody is here. Sorry for the slight delay. As usual, we had some issues with internet and technology. So yeah, thank God we are a deep tech ecosystem company. So let's start. So welcome, everyone. This is the info session of the Open Innovation Factory 2024 Cutoff 2. Let me introduce you our host. So first, Ana Gonzalez, who is a great innovation analyst. He's working on the Open Innovation Factory program for many, many years now. She knows everything there's to be known in regards of rules and regulations. Antonio Garcia is the innovation lead. He's leading the Open Innovation Factory initiative. And my name is Dénes Csiszára. I'm interim head of acceleration and growth at EIT Digital, meaning that I'm responsible for everything that's happening in the innovation pillar in regards to our startup programs. So we're gonna have a very short presentation on EIT Digital. I'm pretty sure you know about us, just to make sure that we are speaking the same language. And then in about 20 minutes, actually, we're gonna talk about Open Innovation Factory and our success stories, the next steps, timing, and so on. And then I'll leave you in the able hands of Antonio and Anna to conduct a short Q&A session with your possible topics. So EIT Digital. EIT Digital, we are a large ecosystem organization. So we cater Europe's largest deep tech ecosystem. We have a number of programs. We have many, many partners. We have a proper master school program with about 4,000 alumni who have graduated in our programs every year. 350 more people graduate. We are partnering with 60 universities. We have served a lot of online students as well. But what's most or more important here for the Open Innovation Factory is that we are supporting startups for 14 and a half years now. With the Open Innovation Factory, I think 7 or 8 years. So we have worked with more than almost 400 startups so far. So our equity portfolio is quite large, actually one of the largest deep tech portfolio in Europe. We are working with about 1,000 investors. We have many, many, many corporate partners, and we have helped a lot of scale-ups to attract funding. We have 23 offices. I will show them to you in a bit, and we even have an EIT hub in Silicon Valley. So where we are, you can see that we have a lot of offices which are the blue pins, and we are opening new ones which are the red pins. I'm, by the way, talking to you from our Budapest office in Hungary, whereas Sana and Antonio are in the Madrid office in Spain. So we are all over the place. We have boots on the ground, and yeah, we have great ecosystem people who are there to help you. Some of the logos we are proud of. You can see many, many companies here from early stage to exit. So we have supported a bunch of companies. I will give you some examples later for success stories of the Open Innovation Factory program. So what does EIT Digital do? So we follow the course of entrepreneurs from student to unicorn, or from unipreneur to unicorn, if you want to be a bit more poetic. So we have, like I said, master school. Then when you are in university, we have venture building programs. And then when you get to incubation phase, we have another program that's called venture program. And we start working with you via our mentor me program. And then when you start to show some sign of traction, we are helping you with 2 instruments. One is the Open Innovation Factory, which we are talking about today, and our great Speedmaster training series, which is happening, actually starting tomorrow. The next iteration, it's a 12-week long executive startup training from startup experts to budding entrepreneurs. And we have our growth services team, which helps Series or B stage startups to attract funding to get to the US. And also we run scouting services for large corporates that's called EIT Digital Champions. You can check out some nice success stories over there as well. So let's talk about the EIT Digital Open Innovation Factory. What's really important here is that we are looking for companies who have started to show that they will soon reach their product market fit, or in other words, they have identified their problem solution fit. They are showing early signs of traction, and they are ready to scale up. So what the program is about? The program is actually 6 months long. We will support successful candidates with up to 400,000 euros. In exchange for that, we will require at least 5.5% of equity. It will be you who will set the amount of equity during the application form that you offer that is valid for your current valuation. And during the program, you must validate that you are ready to scale up by achieving at least 10K euros of revenue. So this program is available only for companies who are not older than 2020 January the 1st. So they have to be, in terms of closed fiscal year, no more than 3 years old when they apply to the program. And I'll show you some more support. But what's notable is that we are going to help you during your entrepreneurial journey. We will be shareholders in the company. We are smarter money than the average in this. So we're gonna help you to get to the right audience, to get to the right partners, and to get the next phase of investment. So how do we help? To iterate a bit more. So first of all, many of us, or many people out there, say about EIT Digital that we are the gateway to European digital innovation. That means that, you know, EIT Digital has 8 brothers, other KICs, knowledge and innovation centers like EIT Food, EIT Climate, and the rest. So we are helping you to get into other programs. We regularly apply to EU calls, and we do that together with our startups. And also, since you have the EIT stamp on you, or the EU stamp in you, you are, you know, elevated a bit further along when you are talking to an angel investor, or when you are talking to a CVC or a customer. Like I said at the beginning of my speech, we are an ecosystem organization. We have many corporates as customers, so really big ones like Bosch and Indra, or T2, the Slovenian telco company. We are working with a lot of investors, VCs and CVCs. We have a lot of service providers. So should you be stuck with growth marketing, or should you be stuck with, I don't know, a special AI modeling, then we can get you the right partner to solve your problem. And since we have, like I mentioned, more than 4,000 students in our alumni network who have a degree about entrepreneurship and innovation, we can help to get that extra talent which might be needed to scale up your startup. We have an awesome marketing team who is regularly helping our portfolio companies to get visibility. If you check EIT Digital's LinkedIn page, you will be able to see some of the examples, some of the marketing push that we are doing for our companies. We regularly organized in the past year, for example, pitch events where we invited investors online, and our startups could get in front of those. We are regularly attending events where we take our startups together. The next one will be the EBAN Summit, the European Business Angels Summit, in October in Brussels, where hopefully many of our startups will have a pitching opportunity. But we are also at Slush and Web Summit and VivaTech and the other events. And of course, we are organizing our own event called the Grow Digital, where we showcase many of our startups in front of EU commissioners and corporates. We are also giving you training and mentoring. I mentioned the Speedmaster training, the next iteration starting tomorrow. Successful applicants will be given a free voucher to attend the Speedmaster executive training. Plus, we have great mentors, both EIT Digital employees and third parties, who's going to help you during your entrepreneurial journey to make sure that we are creating a great European success with the help of you. So in regards to timing, so now we are here, September the 9th. The application system is open, so you can start submitting your applications. The deadline is the 21st of October. That's a hard deadline, 5 p.m. in the evening. I wouldn't leave it to the last moment because, you know, it's technology and the internet. So I would finish my application if I were you a few days in advance, because like I said, that's a hard deadline. No exceptions made, none whatsoever. So whoever got in by 5 p.m. 21st of October is in. Then we're gonna take some time with the evaluation, but you're gonna know by Christmas whether you are approved in the batch or not. And then your program starts in the on the 1st of January and ends on the 30th of June. That's the 6 months you have to spend the money that we have given you to and to validate your product market fit with at least 10K euros of revenue. You cannot apply alone. So Open Innovation Factory, you know, open innovation as a concept where more than, or actually at least 2 organizations are working together on a marketed innovation. So therefore you need to find at least one partner from at least an additional country. So the innovation must span multiple countries. Ideal consortium size, based on our experience, is 3 to 4 consortium members, and all and every partner who applies in this consortium must become EIT Digital partners, which means in a practical term that they need to start the partnership procedure by the time of the application, in fact, because you're going to need a partner information number, a PIF, to be able to apply. So you need to start the online procedure, but you need to finish the activity only if we have selected you as a winner application, and then it has its due course essentially by the start of the program. So we are not omnivores. So as per the strategic innovation agenda, we can work with these 5 key areas. So let me start from the bottom to the top. So digital finance is everything that's related to fintech, payments, and banking. Digital well-being is everything related to life sciences and well-being at work. Digital industry is everything that's related to manufacturing and quality assurance and retail and logistics and such. Digital cities is everything that, you know, has to do with smart mobility, smart cities, urban development, and so on. And digital tech is the kind of sort of everything, but what we see is that cybersecurity, blockchain, Internet of Things, and AI startups select this option. So when you are applying to the OIF, you will need to select one of these areas as the area of your startup. So how can you find your partner? If you don't already have your partner, we have a matchmaking form available. It's available from the same website where you have registered to this webinar. So you need to, if you're a startup, you need to upload a bunch of information about you. For example, what are the kind of partners whom we are after? I have seen many of you have already done that because I'm already on CC of these submissions. If you are a corporate, first of all, thank you so much for being here. And then second, you can tell us about your problems and challenges and issues you are facing, and we're gonna find the right applicant startup for you. And if you are from the academia and you have a nice research topic or a startup or a research that's ready to be spun off from the organization, we can do the same for you. So I encourage you to fill the application form. We could help a great number of the applicants in the past years. Of course, we can't cater everyone, but we will do our best with the help of our ecosystem colleagues to find the right partner. So you need at least one partner from at least one additional country. So please listen to this. So, like I said, we give you 400,000 euros. It's a grant. It's a financial support. It's not VC investment. I mean, following the rules, it's a grant. You will have partial pre-financing available up to 10% or 10% at the beginning of the activity. You get 25% of the money after you submit your midterm evaluation forms and reports, which is you need to submit it after the end of month 3. So we're gonna give it to you, we're gonna read all the papers, make sure that you have spent the money the right way, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna probably spend a few weeks around that, and we're gonna give you 25% after that. And we're gonna give you 25% after the end of the activity, but the most of it will come after we read all the deliverables and other kind of materials that you send to us. So yes, you have to commit the equity at the beginning. You tell it to us during the application, and we will give the money in different tranches. And we can finance 50% of the costs. So if you are applying for the whole 400K euros, the project must be 800K large at least, and you need to be able to cover 50% of the costs yourself, right? Whether it comes from your own treasury because you have that much money on your bank account, whether it's pre-financed by your customer, whether it's co-invested with a VC fund or an angel, doesn't matter, but you will need to take care of the other 50%. Like I said, it's a grant for equity model. Nevertheless, it's a grant, but we are building a strong equity portfolio at EIT Digital. So we have these 4 main pillars or dimensions for a successful application. I'm pretty sure it's nothing you haven't seen in the past. So please show us that you are solving a valid problem, right? Such a valid problem that people would be willing to pay good money for the solution. Please show us that you have at least early signs of traction, that you have a clear business model in your head, and that the solution is rooted in deep tech. Also, since we are, like I said, building a strong equity portfolio, we would like to make exits just as a startup would, or a VC, sorry, would want to make an exit. The only difference is, since we are a not-for-profit entity, we will have to reinvest that money in the ecosystem to help the cycle going on and on and on and on, so we can support some nice startups in the future as well. So please show us that the market is large enough and you have a solid USP to get a visible portion in the market. Of course, team is super important. So please show us that you have the right deep tech expertise, that the team is fully committed, also that the intellectual property situation is managed and it's handled, meaning that everything that's related to the end result sits with the startup. Okay, so the whole IP must be within the startup by the time that the activity is starting, and that you have strong CVs. I'm coming from the VC space and the entrepreneurial space, and I'm a big fan of financial plans. So please show me that you have great prospects, that you will distribute the money to your partners wisely. Each of them is making the right amount of commitment. And what's a huge plus, if you can show us a soft commitment letter from an investor who is willing to join this round. Please don't send us investor letters from the past. Please don't send us investor letters from the past that say that we are morally supporting your startup no matter what. What really gets you from here to here, if you send us real investment commitment letters for the future, which states a sum, which states some kind of soft terms, and which says that the investor would be willing to co-invest with EIT Digital on this. So these are the rules for Open Innovation Factory, not that much, I think. Let me show you some success stories, okay? So we have Ariadne Maps, one of our most valuable portfolio companies. We started to work with them in 2009. You can see their partners. and also their customers, and they just recently closed their Series A round last year. They are an indoor navigation technology, high accuracy. They use it in on airports, large shopping malls, and railway stations, for example. We have AI for Alpha. The name says it all. So it's like an artificial intelligence tool to help with asset managers to make the right decisions. They have large Swiss, for example, Swiss customers, and yeah, they got into the program. Then they closed an undisclosed fundraising round, and they are pretty successful ever since. Then we have Biosimulatics, which is a drug discovery startup from the, as you can judge, from the digital well-being strategic innovation part. They are working with large pharma companies, and they just been accepted to the EIC accelerator. Actually, they even receive more money that's on screen. So they are, again, pretty successful in this. We also have Clevergy, which is a platform, again, for energy consumption modeling. And they just raised their 1.5 million round like a month ago or so. So they just closed it. They are, again, a pretty successful company, and we are very proud of their success. So what's next? Let me give you once again this one. So again, application is open, deadline 21st of October, hard deadline, please don't miss it. Then we evaluate, then we announce the winners, and then you start working. Of course, there are some contracts involved, our share transfer agreement, which is, you can see it like a super lightweight term sheet, and then the share, which of course we are going to sign, grant agreement, and so on. Then the next edition of the Speedmaster training is happening early next year, where you can, or actually need to apply. And again, you have like 6 months to execute the project, spend the money that we have given to you, and create all the deliverables that you said you're gonna create. Please read all the call documents, okay? The Open Innovation Factory is not for everyone. So make sure that you know what's inside and you know what you're applying to. Also, where to apply. It's pretty important. It's also available, the link from the website where you have registered to this call, but you can see it's workspaces eitdigital.eu. You need to register, then you need to register as a partner, and then you can submit your proposal, which is like a very long form. Okay, so imagine it being a very long form. If you have all the information ready and you just need to copy paste, it takes a few hours. It takes a few hours to fill. Altogether, I would allocate 2 or 3 days if I were you to create the successful proposal. Yeah, also read the strategic innovation agenda, which lists more details on the 5 topics: digital industry, digital cities, digital finance, digital well-being, and digital tech, which I mentioned to you at the beginning of my presentation. We are also regularly updating our FAQ. For example, we will after this, after your questions, which you are asking, and yeah. Okay. Yes, again, analyze the call document. If you need helping or help finding a partner, please let us know. The earlier you tell us, the most likely we can help. Of course, if you tell us on the 19th of October that you need a partner, there's like 0 chance we can help you. Reach out to the dedicated email address oif@eitdigital.eu if you have any questions. And with that, now I give it over to Anna and Antonio to answer the questions that you might have. This entire webinar will be available as a downloadable in a few days on the website, including my presentation as a PDF. So you will be able to download it, analyze it, and send your questions after that. With that, I thank you so much for the attention, and I give it over to Anna and Antonio.
Thank you, Dennis. I have answered some questions that have come through the GoToWebinar question list. I suggest that you put there your question at the end. We can do a quick round if someone wants to ask something in directly. So maybe for all of you, I will go quickly to the ones that are general. I think many of them are general. So I will start some questions about if we are going to share the slides. Yes, as Dennis said, you will see them in the web page probably tomorrow or Wednesday, including the recording of this call. 10K revenue goal, it has to be during the activity time frame, and the answer is yes. It has to be executed and provide an evidence like an invoice or several invoices that are dated during the activity time frame. So it's between January and June 2025. Then it was a question about the system. I think the system now is updated and you can enter to the intranet to the system, and as far as I know, it is ready to enter the proposals. If not, I will check. We will check just after the meeting. But I have tried and it is ready. The one is about if the second partner can be a pilot customer, and the answer is yes. This is very good because you are showing that you have some commercial commitments. So it's okay as far as the second partner is in another country. If it is in your own country, you need to look for a third partner that is in a second country, because you know that there's the rule is at least 2 partners in at least 2 countries, 2 European or associated countries. One question about how long is the Speedmaster training, and the answer is that is for 3 months. It's a session of 2 hours a week. This is it's about I think it's between 8 and 12 sessions. Question about the cost. The 50% cost, can it be counted as working hours or only cash? The point is the following. At the end of the activity, you need to report all the costs that you have had. And those costs are independent if you are paying or not. It's something that is about the salaries of the people, the employees that have been working. It's about the purchasing that you have done. And you need to have evidence of all these costs, like invoices, like payroll record. Even you don't need to provide all this information. In general, the program is not too bureaucracy based, so you need to declare those costs, but you don't need to send all the papers to us. No? But the point is that you have to execute this cost in the system, and the grant can support up to 50% of those costs. So the way to plan that is to calculate how much resources you will use in personnel, how much resources you will use in some contracts, in traveling, etc. And then 50% of all those resources can be supported by the grant. But the cash is not in the equation. It's only the cost and 50% of those costs. Then, if we are as an existing company develop a software, can we be the first customer? And the answer is no, because you need an evidence that is a legal invoice for another company. So the answer is no, you need another company. If it's a company that you mentioned, that is a company in the same group, that is valid as far as they are different legal entities. If a founder works without payment, can it count as part of the 50% cost? And the answer is yes. There is a standard rate for those founders or SME owners that are shareholders in the company and are working without being employees. And there is a standard rate that is about it's about 282 euros per day, but this is adjusted by country. In the countries where with the cost of resources is higher, it has a higher rate. And in the countries where the standard cost is lower, the cost is a bit smaller. We can provide the standard rate for any country, or you can find in the EU documentation. But this is possible. For example, if you are three founders working in Belgium, that is the 100%, the 282, you can charge for each day 3 times 282 as a reportable cost. And then you don't need to pay for that. This is a standard model that the EU allows for the owners of the startups and other small and medium enterprises. Let me go to this one. Question about if EdTech is sitting our digital health. It depends. If the EdTech is about health topics, yes. It is. If the health tech, EdTech, education technologies, is based on some advanced artificial intelligence, that is also possible. So in general, it's almost always possible unless it's a very basic EdTech solution. But in general, it fits in different focus areas. The standard rate about where can we find the founder works for 50% financing. This is you can find in the documentation, but if you need to check in some country, ask us in the OIF, and we can provide the detailed data. I think there is between like maybe 180 or 190 and 330 for the most expensive countries in Europe. So can I migrate? This is a question from Matt that no, this is about the system. But I can answer to Matt that has created the proposal in the old system. And sorry, but you cannot migrate from the previous one to the new one. Can you explain the equity ask of 5.5% from EIT Digital? How does the company valuation related? It is connected to the total project amount or just the amount given to the startup? In fact, this is a reference. So it's not that you have to provide an exact value, but you have to provide what is the value, the value of in general, talking about the whole project, because we expect that the participation of the second partner is helping also the startup. But what you at the end, what you do is that you have an estimated valuation and a proposal of the equity. So it's something that is you can propose whatever you want, but then in the selection, this will be compared with your valuation and the money that you are asking for in general for the whole project. Let me go to the next one. Is the code open to entities located in countries that are not associated to Horizon Europe? And the answer is no. Companies need to be associated to Horizon Europe because all those projects are supported by Horizon Europe. A company or one partner that is not in these countries can participate but cannot receive funding, and it is not valid for the second country rule. But there are some cases where, for any reason, one partner from another country wants to participate and can be as an associated partner without funding and without counting for the second country rule. I understand that selected companies will receive 0.4 million in support from EIT Digital, with EIT Digital taking up to 5.5 equity stake. Does this 0.4 million need to be shared with the partners in the consortium? Yes, it's the 400 case is for the whole consortium. You can distribute in the consortium in the way that you want, as far as something logic, but it's for the whole consortium. But it is possible that if the other partners participate without receiving funding, almost all funding or all funding can go to the startup. But in that case, the other partners have to provide their cost without receiving funding. The distribution of the internal funding, this 50% is for the total consortium. So it is possible that some companies will receive more than 50% funding, as far as other partners are receiving less than 50% of the cost that they have incurred in the project. It is possible to gain access to the application template immediately. Okay, Anna has answered. That is, you need to register in because it is in the intranet, and you need to register at least to get the users in the intranet to access to the system. For clarification, do we need to be legally incorporated at the time of the application submission, or can we incorporate once we are accepted? And the answer is that you need to be legally incorporated before applying, and that's the answer. After January 1st, 2020. And does it need to be an EU entity, an EU or Horizon Europe associated entity? Sorry, associated country. That it does not mean, for example, UK is possible now, and many other countries that are associated to Horizon Europe. Can the invoice for the sales requirement be issued by the company owning the company or receiving the grant? Yes, as far as they are independent entities, it's possible that a subsidiary pays for the subsidiary, or the parent company buys the product from the other company. As far as it's a real payment, it's something that is not a kind of fake payment or something like that. Can the grant be spent for longer than 6 months? No. No, the answer is that only the cost executed during those 6 months can be reported. And if the part of 400K remains, the point is that it's not needed to ask for 400K. You need to ask for 50% of the resources that you can use in this time frame. That is very important because, as Dennis explained, there are some delay in the payment of the grant. So you need to support in the part of the cash flow. You need to support your own cost plus the delay in the payment of the grant. So it's something that you need to be aware where the cash flow of the project, and then you can ask 50% of the cost that you are going to declare in these 6 months. Question of the equity transfer. In our case, the consortium is composed by 2 companies that do not have this project as the main activity. Yeah. No, I understand that the point is that you have a company that has some business, and then ask for the grant to support for example, a new feature of the system. The 5.5 is calculated from the company's company valuation, because it is based on the grant that the company is receiving. So the answer is that you cannot divide your company to offer something related with the part that will be supported by the grant, because in fact the grant is a venture boost. You need to develop something innovative, but we are supporting the growing of the company itself, the growing of the whole company. So it is not supporting, let's say, part of the company. The consortia can be done by a company and a university or investigation center as soon as they are in different countries. The answer is yes, as far as both of them become partners of EIT Digital. And this is important to consider, especially for universities, because if we have many universities in our partnership, but if the university is new, our experience is that it takes some time for them to organize all the internal procedures and paperwork to join EIT Digital. But the answer is yes, it is possible. One university or investigation center that is or becomes a partner of EIT Digital in the activity is possible. One question from Matt. Matt, you were using this the previous year. Sweden founder per hour rate. I will send by email to you, Doug, because I don't have time now to look for that. How does the partnership work? The funding goes to the startup, or how do the partners cover the cost? Okay, the proposal comes in a consortium mode. So the proposal has an activity leader, that is the startup, and then one or two additional or three additional partners. But the part of the paperwork is done partner by partner. So EIT Digital will establish grant contract with all the partners and will pay directly to those partners. So the work coordination is done by the activity leader, by the startup usually, but the part of the contracts and the payments are done directly to each partner. You have mentioned that selected venture will become part of EIT Digital community. Could you provide more details on the process to join this community? What are the requirements and costs associated with becoming a partner? They are in. I don't know by heart, but the conditions are in our website. I think for startups, the annual fee, if they apply as external partners, is like 3,000, a bit more. I think a bit more than 1,000. For big corporation, is about 30,000 for big corporations. That can be if they are in a, let's say, external partner mode, that is like a provisional mode, is half of that. So the point is that you should access to our website and check the partnership conditions. Are there any conditions for Swiss startup? Yes, there are, because Switzerland has not signed the association with the Horizon Europe, so Swiss companies cannot receive funding in this program. There can be some possibilities to participate supported by the Swiss Guarantee Fund, but it cannot be part of this does not count for the number of countries, and they cannot receive funding from EIT Digital. So I would say that it's not easy for Swiss startups to participate. Can a multiple product startup apply with just one product project? The answer is can apply, but cannot split the part of the equity. So the grant will be for the company to support one new project, something innovative in the company, but also the company growing and boosting the company, and the equity is considered for the whole company. Is there any other program that does not require equity transfer? Probably there are, but not in this program. Not in EIT Digital, as far as I know. Can the other 50% be fully financed by the partner? Yes, it can. So it's possible that the startup receive 100% of the funding, as far as the other partner is supporting enough own funding to cover that the final calculation is 50% of the total funding. this is it has happened in many cases. If the startup receive more percentage or even all the funding if the other partner is able to support the rest of the cost, and it's not able, is interested in doing that. Becoming partners is 3,500 euros per partner. I think so for a startup, but I cannot confirm the exact number, but it's about that amount. But you can check in the website in becoming a partner. This is. I appreciate the clarification that the 0.4 million will need to be shared with the partners in the consortium. However, it seems that only our company, the startup, will be required to give up equity to EIT Digital, while the partners receive funding without any equity stake. This arrangement feels inequitable from our perspective. Can you provide more context? Yeah, the point is that the partner, it is supposed that is supporting the startup in some way. It is a customer, it can be a support because it will be the first commercial customer and a reference. It is if the second partner is university, for example, maybe they are doing some research or some improvement of the algorithm of the company. So it's not that you have a partner to receive money, it's that you have a partner to do something for you. So this is the way that we are supporting that partner, and then they are supporting you. This is regarding these concerns, alternative models, I have explained that the 50% is for the whole consortium. So you have a partner that is willing to work without receiving funding. What happens many times with the corporates that they are not interested in the funding, but they are interested in your solution. It is possible that the distribution is 100% of the funding for the startup and 0 for the other partners, as far as the other partner is supporting 50% of the total cost. But this is happening in some cases, especially with corporates. So the 50% cost applies of partners as well, applies to the whole consortium. The consortium has to put all the cost that they are, the cost of the resources that they are going to use in the project, and then EIT Digital will support 50% of those costs, up to 400K. But the internal distribution can be variable. You can decide if the partners, if the other partners apply with 50%. We have seen other cases where the other partners apply with nothing, and the startup supports for any reason support their cost and the 50% of the other partner. We have seen the opposite. That is, the only important point is that at the end, the total amount in the consortium is maximum 50%. Can the consortium include a startup at public administration? Yes, it can, as far as this public administration becomes a partner of EIT Digital. But this happens. We have several cities that are partners, the city halls. Then they participate, and then they are valid partners. Yes, and they can receive also funding. Yes, one question, if have I understood correctly that the grant is for the project, and if only a part of the company, EIT Digital, takes a stake in the whole company, including ownership in the other non-project activities? That's right. Should then only the project be described in the application and all activities by the company? In general, I think it's recommendable that you describe all activities by the company, because this program is to support the boosting of startups. And then if the boosting of the startup includes the creation of a new feature of the solution and also helping the startup to progress, this is valid. So it's important that we understand what is the startup about and what is the work that you are going to do in the activity. We are not funding only the work that is new. We are funding the work that is new and the boost of the company, the startup, with marketing, with the commercial approach, improving other solutions. So in general, you should explain all the company is doing and what part corresponds to the project. Does EIT Digital offer any financial assistance or support for writing the application for the Open Innovation Factory program, considering the substantial time and effort required? No, financial assistance, no. Could you provide the success rate for the applicants to the program? This is not a defined success rate. The example that I can give is that depending on the quality of the projects, it has been variable. For example, in the two previous one, the last one, there were not many companies selected. That were only like 3 of 30 something proposals. In the previous one, we had like 40 or 50 proposals, and we selected 8. It depends on the proposals and the limit of the amount and what the proposal are asking for, because not all the proposals are asking for the whole amount. Because it's very important, what we have repeated several times, that you need to be able to spend in those resources, but to ask for 50% of the resource. So don't look at the 400Ks directly and thinking that it's like a venture capital that is putting 400Ks there and you can start to use them. It's that you need to calculate how much resources you are going to use in the project, and then ask for 50%. Only able to use 200,000, you can ask for 100,000 in the grant. So it depends on the size of the company and many other points. Are there any partner in Luxembourg? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I remember that at least in the previous year or 2 years ago, the University of Luxembourg was one of the partners in the activity. I don't know if they are still being partners, but this is a startup plus an EU country. It's not any problem with them. It's the opposite. It is fair that only the startup, that only startup gives away equity while corporation benefit from the grant. Well, as I said, corporations sometimes they waive their part of the funding if they are very interested in what the startup is doing. I've been an executive in corporation for many times, and I have seen many startups doing free work, free pilots to promote themselves. So I don't know if it's fair or not, but this is how the work. And for a startup, there is not a best thing that getting a corporate as a customer and having this initial reference. So you have to decide. Can an owning company of the company with the project to be the partner? Of course, in another country. So if there is a subsidiary in another country, well, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if you have any rule that is preventing that. For example, the parent company and a subsidiary in different countries participate. I think probably it's not. My view is that probably not possible, most probably, but I can check that. Or we can send a message to our OIF email, and we will look deep. We have a partner that is a pharmaceutical corporation with offices in multiple countries, but the main office is located in the same country. They can participate with a subsidiary. No, you cannot participate with both companies if they are located in other. If the parent company is in the same country or as the startup, you cannot participate because you are not covering the 2 countries rule. But what we have seen before is that they have collaborated with any of the subsidiaries, and then the second partner is the subsidiary in a second country. This is common. Then they have to participate from the other country. But it's not a problem, for example, that if the parent company is in the country and then they have a subsidiary that participates in another country, both of them can participate as partner, or only the subsidiary can participate. But the two-country rule is needed. Are all the consortium partners be required to take part in the EIT Digital Partnership model, or only the beneficiary? All the partners need to participate. Is there a list of all partners you have that can be publicly accessed? Yes, it is in our website. If you go to become a partner, I think there we have the partnership list. It's not always, because it's a document, it's not always 100% updated, but normally it is. And then you can check with us if some there is still a partner, or we have another partner. But in general, you can check that in our website. If we apply for 200,000 in support from the paying nation factory, does that mean that we will be required to offer a 2.75 equity stake? No, this is not. This is not how things work. The point is that if you apply for 200,000 and you offer, for example, 10%, is that because you are considering that your company the valuation is 2 million? It's something more or less in that way. It's not that 400 correspond to 5.5, and then if you ask for less, you provide less. The point is that if you ask for less, you have to provide at least 5.5%. That means that let's say the reference valuation for companies cannot be over like 8 million or something like that, because this is 400K for 5%. This is 8 million. So in general, how things work is that you need to provide an equity more than 5.5, and then you can ask for any amount between 0 and 400K. But the minimum equity stake is 5.5. Let me see if we have more questions. No, I think this was the last one. I don't know if anyone has any additional one. We will try to answer all of those questions. Is there any? It's the same that Antonio has asked. Other program that does not require equity transfer, and not as far as I know in the EIT Digital. There are other programs that are totally different. That we have many kind of programs for scale up. I don't know if some of them are the same. The list of all partners is in the website in Become a Partner section. But I don't remember there. You have to look there, and there is a link that a list of all partners, something like that. If there is any other question, we are going to close the meeting here, the call here. Thank you for your attention. Yes, we have said, if you have any additional question, you can contact us in the OIF at EIT Digital EU email, and then we will answer you privately. Thank you very much to all of you. Have a nice day. We hope that some of you will apply.
Thank you. Have a nice day.